Hello and welcome back to the Graceful Tangle YouTube channel. I'm Amy Kate, a young but passionate knitter and crocheter. If you're looking for me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Etsy, Ravelry, and Pinterest as the Graceful Tangle. On Ravelry and Etsy, you can find and purchase my knit and crochet patterns, and also on Ravelry, you can find the Graceful Tangle podcast group and join in on all of the fun chatter we have going on over there. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't already, I would love it if you took a moment to subscribe to my channel, and then don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you get notified each and every time I upload a video. I also have my blog linked in the description box below, so if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe over there so that you can get a notification via email every time I make a post. So today I am back with you guys talking all about my favorite interchangeable needle set, and that is the KnitPicks nickel-plated interchangeable set. So I absolutely love everything about this set, and I wanted to take some time today to talk with you guys about it, talk about my favorite things, things that I might change, things like that. So first, a few specifics. When you first receive your set, it's going to look just like this. It comes in this clear vinyl case, which is why you can see a little bit of reflections in it. It comes with 9 sets of tips ranging from size 4 to 11 or 3.5 millimeter to 11 millimeter, I believe. No, 8 millimeter. Size 11, 8 millimeter needles. So yes, 9 tips. These are the longer tips. So KnitPicks has 2 needle size options, the shorts and then the normal regular size. The shorts are really great for things that you knit in small circumferences, such as some cowls, but primarily sleeves on sweaters, baby hats, adult hats, things like that. Baby sweaters, they're really good for that too. So just things like that. It's really good, in my opinion, to have a set of both, unless you love knitting in the magic loop. If magic loop is your go-to thing for knitting small circumferences, I recommend just a longer tip set. But for me, if I have the option, I would definitely prefer to knit all the way in the round. So I like to have both the long tip set and the short tips. But again, that's totally your opinion. Anyway, so it comes with 9 sets of tips, and then it comes with 4 cables, 2 of the 32-inch length and 2 of the 24-inch length, and then 4 sets of quirkies, and 4 sets of end caps. Let's talk correctly, shall we? Anyway, so I absolutely love this set. Again, this is nickel plated, so the needles are very, very smooth. If you enjoy knitting fast or want to become a faster knitter, I highly recommend this set because it's going to make you knit faster. The stitches glide over the needles so nicely because they're so slick. Whereas on wood, even if they're really good quality needles, the stitches won't glide as well just because it's a different material. So whatever you prefer, if you prefer to knit slower and kind of take your time, I would recommend wooden. If you prefer to knit faster and kind of get things done, I would recommend the nickel plated set. Now, I mean, take that with a grain of salt. You can easily knit slow on these needles, and you can knit fast on wooden needles. It's just, overall, if you want to knit slower, I would recommend wooden. If you want to knit faster, I would recommend nickel-plated. So, in terms of the cables, like I said, it comes with 2 each of sizes 24 and 32. Now, keep in mind that that is the circumference of the needle when the needle tips are attached. So, when you attach, let me show you. When you attach the cables to the needle tips, tip to tip will measure that length. So if you choose a 24-inch cable and attach your tips, that means that with the tips attached, it's going to measure 24 inches from tip to tip. So I believe this is my 32-inch cord. So let me screw on these needles. So all you have to do to attach the needles, you can see this one I have already screwed on. You simply take the tip, insert it into the bottom, and screw. Now, occasionally you will find that as you're knitting, the the needle comes a little bit unscrewed and starts to catch your stitches, that is only because the needle is enduring so much movement. When you're knitting, you're constantly whipping this needle, and so whether you think you are or not, you're generally twisting it just a little bit. Now, KnitPicks has provided a fix for that. Simply take the cord key, insert it into this top hole here, and turn it, and that will ensure that your tips will not come unscrewed. Now, if for some reason the needle is kind of messed up on the inside, like the screw is stripped or something like that, KnitPicks customer service is amazing, and they will supply you with a new set of tips if the case arises or the need arises. But yes, so I have attached my needles to my cord, and now if I were to measure this from tip to tip with it straight out just like so, you would measure 32 inches. So you can knit a circumference of 32 inches. So this would be great for sweaters, for a longer cowl that you're working in the round versus flat or something like that. I generally use the 24-inch cord even more, just because my cowls are usually that circumference or just a little bit larger, and so my stitches are just a little bit squished. And then I generally I knit a size extra small in sweater patterns, and so I need the 24-inch to accommodate my body or my torso knitting. So whichever you're most comfortable with and whichever works for your stitches. One thing that I would recommend is if a pattern calls for a size 32 needle or a size 24 needle, kind of take note of the stitch count. I prefer my stitches to be slightly squished on my needles and not stretched out, just so that I can knit faster. If your stitches are spread apart, so for example, if you had the right amount of stitches for a 32-inch cable, but it was only 32 inches, so if you were knitting a 32-inch circumference and you were using a 32-inch cable, your stitches are going to be just fine, but they're not going to be very squished together. One reason that I like my stitches being squished together is it allows me to push on my stitches less. So when I'm knitting, I hold the yarn in my right hand on my right hand index finger, and then I push the stitches every now and then with my left hand to knit them. I don't actually push them off the needle. So if my stitches are more squished on my needles, then I don't have to push them as often, which is really nice, and it allows me to knit faster, which means I get more done, which is always a bonus. So whatever your preference is, of course. So in terms of sharpness, let's talk about that for just a minute. So if you like really, really sharp needles, such as Haya Sharps, Chiaogus are pretty sharp, needles like that, you might not love these because they aren't as sharp as those brands. But keep in mind that those brands are designed to be very sharp needles. These are not dull. Here is a close-up of the tips. They are not dull. I love the sharpness of these needles. They are, it's very easy to insert the needle into my stitch, whether I'm knitting it or purling it or doing cables or something like that, where the stitches are generally a little bit tighter, and so you want your needle to be sharper so that it can insert easily. And I have no issues with that with these needles. I have used needles that are duller in the past, or more dull. I don't know if dull is a word. Anyway, I have used needles that are more dull in the past, and they have definitely slowed me down. So I really love how sharp these are. And then one of the last things that I want to talk about is the join. So if you are using interchangeable needles, or any circular needles really, but specifically interchangeable needles, it is often that the join from the cable to the needle tip isn't smooth. And that is simply because you are inserting the tip into the cable. It's designed to be inserted, but it's not going to be as smooth as a fixed circular because the cable is not made into the needle. It screws in. So you're going to have that seam from the screw. So you can see right here, this little line right here is the seam. And so if I'm to rub my finger down this needle, I feel the seam, but it's not drastic at all. And part of that is the way that KnitPicks has tapered their needle. So you can see, here is my full circumference of the needle. And then once it gets towards the end, it slowly tapers down and then becomes as skinny as the cord. That makes your stitches glide so much smoother. If it were to be straight across and then a small circumference down here, your cord would just insert and then it would be very abrupt when your stitches were coming across. So that's another thing that I really love about these needles. I love that the stitches glide easily down the needle and then also up the needle. It's really, really nice. So a couple more things. One, this set is part of the KnitPicks Options collection, and that just means that all of the tips and all of the cords are interchangeable with each other. So, for example, if you were to purchase this nickel-plated set, and then later down the road you purchase a wooden set, such as the mosaic set, you would be able to use the same cords for both the nickel-plated set and the mosaic set. And that is also true if you were to buy a Knitter's Pride set as well. So there are different companies, but the needle tips and the cords are interchangeable, which is so nice. I love being able to use all different cords for all different tips, and just being able to store them in the same case all together is so handy. So I really love those two brands for that reason. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is storing these needles. So obviously it comes in this case, which is perfectly fine. I love how flat this case is. It takes up very, very little room. It is also a little bit water resistant, which is nice. So if I were to like a spill, I don't know, some water or some coffee on this, I would be able to wipe it off instead of it going straight through to the needles, which is really nice. However, my favorite way to store this specific set is in this case, which I will have a full review on down the road, but this is the rose gold needle case, and it is so lovely. It has enough room to store one set just like this, one set of needle tips, and then it has lots of handy pockets for cables and patterns and other sets and things like that. So that is definitely my favorite way to store this specific set. I believe this is called the needle clutch, to be a little bit more specific. But yes, I absolutely love this case, and I love storing these needles in it. It is also a little bit water resistant, so again, if I were to spill something on it, I could easily wipe it off, that's a really handy feature. I really like that. So yes, I hope you have enjoyed hearing all about this set. Let me know in the comments below if you have used these needles before, if you like nickel-plated needles, what your favorite ones are. Just let me know. I am very curious. So I will have the links to both of these products, the needle case in case you're interested, and then this needle set in the description box below. As I'm recording this, KnitPicks is also having a sale that is 20% off this set and many of their other interchangeable sets. So be sure to check that out. And then if you aren't sure that you like this set, KnitPicks also has Try It sets, which comes with a set of wooden tips in one size and then a set of nickel-plated tips in another size. So you can kind of try out both tips and see which ones you prefer. I did that with the nickel-plated set and then also with a set of their 4 square needles, and I absolutely love that feature. It's such a handy way to spend just a little bit of money and really try something out before investing into a full set. So I will link that in the description box below if you're interested. I hope that you enjoyed hearing all about this product, and again, let me know in the comments below what your favorite needles are. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all again next time. Bye!